So, Moshe and Aaron, Netzach and Hod. Netzach, victory, or eternity, is the drive to overcome obstacles in the pursuit of a goal. At a more primitive level, it manifests as the survival instinct. Netzach involves courage, perseverance, strategy, assertiveness, and even physical combat, battle, whatever is needed to succeed. The biblical figure exemplifying Netzach is Moshe, whose life was marked by ongoing struggle. In infancy, he survived a decree dooming all Jewish newborn males to drown. Years later, having killed an Egyptian whom he witnessed tormenting a Jew, Moshe fled to Egypt to escape Pharaoh's vengeance. Soon after, he again rescued a young woman who later became his wife from being harassed by a group of shepherds. He mustered prodigious courage to confront Pharaoh and release the Jews, led his nation to victory in a war against the hostile nation of Amalek, debated with angels at Sinai who protested the Torah's transmission to humanity, struggled with mutinous groups of Jews during the nation's journeys through the wilderness, and repeatedly prevailed upon God to spare the Jews from near annihilation. In contrast, Hod, surrender, or empathy, motivates loyalty to a person or ideal. It spurs one to set aside personal concerns out of sensitivity to the needs of others. The inner stillness Hod engenders allows one to appreciate people and the beauty of life. In contrast to Netzach, which looks forward in search of progress, Hod is the spring of gratitude for one's present state. It is Aaron that personifies Hod. Despite being Moshe's older brother, he humbly submitted to serve as Moshe's mouthpiece. Furthermore, Aaron took interest in the private lives of ordinary people, promoting peace between them. He achieved this primarily by conferring his own Hod empathy, which awakened empathy within others, bring them to amicably bring solutions to their conflicts. He also paid much attention to wrongdoers and treated them with respect and dignity. He did all this despite his most distinguished role as high priest. Excessive Netzach finds expression in arrogance and condescension, manipulation, recklessness, insensitivity, argumentativeness, competitiveness, and its cousin, envy. Although Moshe was the most humble person on the face of the earth, on his lofty level of consciousness he exhibited excess Netzach. This is apparent in the episode where God instructs Moshe to speak to a rock in order to elicit water from it and thereby sustain the Jews. Moshe made two mistakes. He hit the rock instead of speaking to it, and when announcing the miracle to be performed, he inadvertently failed to attribute it to God, making it seem as though he effected it himself. Both errors were symptomatic of excess Netzach. In striking the rock, Moshe was more assertive than necessary, and due to his heightened sense of dominance at the time that he failed to explicitly ascribe the miracle to God. In contrast, too much Hod results in meekness, naivety, and low self-esteem, hypersensitivity, despair, and passivity. Aaron exhibited this imbalance during the incident with the golden calf. Upon witnessing the Jews building the golden calf, he failed to assert his authority and gain control over the situation. Instead, Aaron sufficed with discreetly slowing down the process in the hope that Moshe would return and take charge before the idol was built. The result was the Jews' debauchery into frenzied idol worship. Excess Netzach is repaired primarily by exercising Hod, the fount of humility, calm, receptivity, and empathy. Excess Hod, however, is generally rectified by building up the quality of Netzach. This involves cultivating trust in God and developing the personal skills and resources that increases one's efficacy level in a chosen sphere and bolstering self-confidence. Setting oneself up to succeed in as many activities as possible has proved helpful at building Netzach. When you succeed at something, this builds your confidence further, thus improving your Netzach. Netzach. Netzach and Hod Kabbala.